Welcome back to Demon Slayer Gaming Channel. I hope everyone is enjoying Wuthering Waves as much as I am, but with it being out now for 2 weeks, I believe, I wanted to just do a video and kind of go over my experiences and the things that I'm enjoying and my opinion on some of the issues right now, but also just on the basic state of the game. So I didn't want to show off too much in the game because I feel like everyone is still experiencing it. So I'm just going to do some echo grinding while we go over this. So let's see. Now, starting off, I did want to talk about like the state of the game. The game, I believe, is in a very good spot right now if you're looking to play the game. There is quite a few issues that are happening right now, but with all of those issues also comes rewards. And they're not big enough issues that really prevent you from being able to play the game. I know that there are a lot of people that are experiencing issues that do prevent them from playing the game, but those are being worked very quickly, it seems. And so I think that if you're looking to play the game, then it is a good time to get started with playing it so that you can collect those rewards while the developers are fixing all of these issues. And then, so I want to say that I do believe this game is not a good mobile experience, though. Hey, it's the shiny one. Well, that's a fun thing to find while I'm just randomly out here. So we got ourselves our shiny, I don't even know what this guy is actually called. The Rocksteady Guardian. So that's the secondary sort of skin for him. I already had found it in its other location. I didn't even realize that it could be out here, but that's fun to know. But anyways, I do not believe this game is a good mobile experience. And mainly, optimization is a big issue for that. But also, the game is so fast paced that it is really hard to say that I would recommend this for a mobile player because it's really hard to keep up with mobile controls for any game that is fast paced like this. So I don't think that I would ever say to play any game such as this one. I played Pascal's Wager, which is another sort of like fast-paced Dark Souls type game on mobile, and playing it on mobile versus PC, like PC was just so much better. So I would recommend to wait for either a console or like PS5 or playing it on the PC versus playing it for mobile. It's just not, you're not getting the full experience, and that may ruin things for you. I currently believe that there is a ton of content to do as a free to play and mostly kind of casual player. There's just so much to do that I cannot possibly run out, to the point like I'm way behind in farming echoes and things like that as far as other people are, and that's just going to happen. And I am running multiple accounts because I do want to have content for every character. So being free to play, the only way to do that is by running multiple accounts. So I have different accounts that would be pulling different characters, things like that. So I'm not as casual as a actual casual player would be, but I do still have my entire other job. I have a wife outside of here, so it's like there's plenty of things that are keeping me distracted other than just playing the game. So I do believe that if you're playing this game casually, you will have tons of content to do for a very long time, and that's just going to increase as time goes by. So I don't think there's any issues right now with there being a lack of content or a deficit of content. The ecosystem is a big one that a lot of people are really talking about as being like the main issue that is with this game. I don't see that though. The ecosystem, I believe, is almost perfect the way it is. I wouldn't say it is exactly perfect, but there's a lot of the things that people are complaining about are really non-issues. So it does take a long time to get anything, and it is kind of grindy. That is just how relic systems are in every gacha game. Like they're difficult to get to the best possible ones. That's just how it is designed to be done. People thinking that they're going to get a maxed out relic set for any of their characters in the first week, even two, is just insane to me that you expect to be able to get that. And then whenever you're talking about them taking a long time to build, it's just the fact that this is the first week or two. If any of the other gacha games had given us the capability to get our in-tier relics, which is our gold relics, in the first 2 to 3 days, which is what you could do with Wuthering Waves, then yeah, if you're going to start just immediately start maxing it out, which is what some of these content creators and other people are doing, then yes, you're going to run out of content. You're going to speed through all of your tuners and all of your experience very, very quickly. But it's because you're accessing that content so quickly and using all of what is being provided to you. In other games, whenever it takes you a week to sometimes a month to get to these in-game sort of content for like relic systems and stuff, then you've spent all of that time building up the rewards that the game's been providing you, farming them casually, and you're just not going to run out at it anywhere near the same rate as if you reach them in the first 2 days. It's to be expected. And for people that thinking that they're not going to do that, or that the system is flawed or bad because they have run out in the first day or two, it's your own doing, quite honestly. Now that bear's just beating the shit out of me. Okay, anyways. Gear sets. So as you can see, I am currently farming the just attack-based relic set. And this is something that I honestly think that I should have thought of for myself instead of just watching all the releases saying like what's the best set for each character. Yes, the best set is to put the ice set on the ice character, put the fire set on the fire character. I get that. I understand that. But at the same time, these are the very first relic sets being released, right? The very first Echo sets. They are going to get power crept so quickly. Nobody uses the fire set in Honkai Star Rail anymore. Nobody uses hardly anyone uses the physical set. There's more people using the wind set, but it's only in a very niche situation. Like these sets, they're good right now, but they're not going to last. And people need to understand that before dumping hundreds of hours playing this game into getting these sets and maxing them out to where you have these perfect sets and then them not be beneficial to you later on. The only sets that are going to last are these three right here at the bottom: the Rejuvenating Glow, Moonlit Clouds, and Lingering Tunes. If you are building a DPS character, Lingering Tunes is not anywhere near as efficient as these specific sets. I get that. But at the same time, it allows you the capability to switch between every single DPS in the game and have a efficient set. And that is something that cannot be denied. That is one of the most powerful things in the game. I can literally take this set, put it on my Gion, and have an amazing set that if all the subsets are good, which is a lot easier to do whenever you're just focusing on one set versus one set for each individual character, then you can have a great set that you are able to change between every single character. I can use the same set on Gion, same set on Calcharo, same set on Yinlin, and because these sets can be changed in between things like Tower of Adversity and all that, it doesn't matter who your main DPS is, you can still use this on every single one of them. Same goes for the Moonlit Clouds and Rejuvenating Glow. Every one of your healers will benefit from this set. Now, yes, it is just kind of like the healing set in like Honkai Star Rail, right? Like this healing bonus is not what you're getting the set for. It's not very good. And honestly, if they release another healing set, I think this one will probably be the one that is power crept quicker than these two. The attack bonus for other party members is what you're going for. It's the buff effect. Combining this buff effect with the buff effect from other characters, along with the buff effect from like your turtle, there's so much buffing going on. Same with the Moonlit Clouds. This is all about getting the extra energy to use your character's abilities to then provide the outro skill. It's all just compounding buffs upon buffs upon buffs to funnel it into your main DPS. So these do not depend on your character, right? You don't have to have, all you have to have is a character that has the capability of healing in any regard to be able to activate this. That functions on so many different characters. Right now, not as many because the game just came out, but there is still, we're seeing uses for characters that have swords because there's the sword that provides healing. Along with, I don't know if this works yet, I need to look into it, but Chasm Guardian provides a healing effect whenever you use him. I don't know that it is a heal over time. I don't know if that's going to benefit this effect and if it would work. Something I have to test. Moonlit Clouds, same thing. You have a echo that does a buff itself. Outro skill will buff. Your outro skill itself, you're most likely using this on a character that has a buffing outro skill. You're providing 3 buffs like right here. It's just insanely good. And it's all tying into things. So I do not think that these 3 sets will be efficiently power creeps anytime soon. These other ones, I can see them being kind of pushed under the rug a lot quicker. So I would personally recommend farming these 3 sets. Take that with a grain of salt. Not a ton of experience in the game and not a ton of experience with some other systems, but that's just what I personally believe, and it's what I wish I had done other than just listening to people saying, you know, put this set on this person, because I did make that mistake. I went in, I wanted the arrow set because it's Gian, you know, he needs the arrow set to do the most efficient damage, blah 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 blah, and I just don't feel like everything that I have found for the arrow set, the substats are just so bad that it honestly, like, he is not in a good spot. Like, his stats are not good at all. It is trash tier garbage, right? And yet, I'm still able to clear all the content that we have right now. And that's also something I want to say is, like, you don't have to have the absolute best to be able to clear everything. So people that are stressing, like, they're spending hundreds of stamina trying to get a single monkey that has the best stats, you don't need that, especially as a casual. You can run a monkey that has a single, so I have heavy attack and crit damage. Those are the only things that benefit Gian whatsoever, and yet this works just perfectly fine. So you don't have to have the best stats. You do not need, you know, arrow damage on the arrow set. Attack percentage will work just fine. If that's what you got, then just use what you got. Energy regen is so important that we're starting to realize now. Energy regen will work just fine. All these other ones, like different things, I was gonna go over also that I don't think that the 4-3-3-1-1 concept is the best in every situation. And in a lot of situations, especially as a free-to-play, with crit being so necessary for like getting big damage numbers and making things really easy, it may be better to run the 4-4-1-1-1. I think that takes a little bit more testing than I've done right now. I know these arrow damage, like you're passing up 60% arrow damage, that's quite a bit. But if you do a 4-4-1-1-1 and you have good substats where there's crit rate on these easier things to get, because the 3 stats are the hardest ones to get, right? So if you are able to efficiently get the 4s and the 1s, which are a lot easier to get and they're a lot more plentiful, and get decent substats on them to where you are able to have an insane crit damage and crit rate value, I think that will far outscale just having raw damage as from the arrow damage than if you had the 60% arrow damage with garbage crit rate and crit damage. So other than that, when you're listening to a lot of the more popular content creators that are, I mean, I hate attacking content creators because they're just playing their game and they're doing their opinions just like I am. So I'm not really trying to sit here and like start a war between saying like someone's wrong or something's bad or whatever. It's just you have to realize that if you're going in this as a why is this even here? If you're going in this as a free-to-play or a light spender or something, you're probably not on the same playing field as those content creators that are sitting here, that are spending a lot of, some of them are spending a lot of money, some of them are spending just a lot of time, which is a lot of something that casuals do not really have. And so you have to think about what's most efficient for you. That's why I think the attack set is one of the best things to do. It's very efficient for literally every single character compared to having a individual set for each individual character. And then also just a lot of people are just sounding very kind of greedy with what they're expecting right now. Like, we just received multiple rewards for them pushing up events or them changing certain things that are going on. And the entire time that people like reading out like what they're giving out, it's like, well, I wish they'd given this instead because that's what benefits me. And it's like, it's really not that important. Be happy you're getting anything at all. And just accept the fact that you may have to try a little bit harder to get something that you're wanting. I don't know. I've played way too many games that are just not like content like this that's constantly being pushed. And when you're playing like a final release game, say like Elden Ring or whatever, it's like there is no complaining about, well, I wish that, the drop rate on this was higher, and like nothing's going to change really. And so I have a hard time personally understanding when people are upset or wanting something that it's like they're already changing something and giving out rewards, and yet you're sitting here saying like it's not enough or it should have been something different. It's a little bit hard for me to get behind, but I mean, everyone has their own opinion. What is with the lock-on going on right now? Just sweet Jesus, where are we looking at? That is one thing I will say that is kind of faulty with this game. The camera work is sometimes really, really bad. Oh, we were looking over here at these guys, I guess. I personally, my biggest issue is probably the camera right now. That is something that I feel a lot of games have struggled with, especially with lock-on bosses that move a lot. Even Elden Ring had its day where it was like struggling a lot on the camera being precise with maintaining lock-on characters on enemies. So it's to be expected, especially with a smaller company. And that's what I'm saying is I don't think that they've done anything that is like game breakingly bad. And so as far as the game goes, I believe it's honestly more polished than a lot of the games we've been seeing recently. So for people to be upset about the polish of the game, it's not as justified as I believe it should be. I think they've done a great job for the type of game it is and the feedback that they received, because it was a lot of bad feedback that they did have to fix a lot of things, and yet they've been able to turn it around and show that they're willing to change things. And so I think that is fantastic and something that I personally am like kind of praising, because I feel like they're doing a good job. There is still issues that they need to work out, and there are still things that they could change, but I'm happy to see what's going to happen going forward, and I'm not going to bitch and complain about it too much. Where the fuck is this bear? Oh, hello. As far as compensation for rewards, I feel like they've done a fantastic job. They've given out a lot of shit, like a lot of shit that was kind of unnecessary, I feel like. And I mean, it's made the player experience really good for the people that are playing right now, but I don't know that it's for the short term of the game. It made the players that are complaining right now about there not being enough stuff, it made it so that they reached that stage like even faster. So they kind of shot themselves in the foot, I feel like. But I don't know. That's just my take on it. Tacit field rewards, I don't feel like they're bad. Like I'm saying, if you're spending weeks building up the tacit field rewards, because just like in any other game, like if we had weeks before we had gotten these gold echoes and we had all that time to sit here and build up tacit field rewards, we would not be struggling or speaking like we're struggling anywhere near as much as people are right now. But it's just the fact that you're literally getting to this point within a day or two, and then, or even for like a week, for the casual player, because it's still, even as a casual player who doesn't do really anything. Like I have 3 accounts. I only do dailies on my other 2 accounts. I really do nothing else. They have not progressed the story. I have not gone any sort of exploration, anything like that. That's where I'm at right now. Of course, I'm going to do that later because I need the rewards to be able to get characters. But as of right now, I haven't even touched them. So I'm literally just farming tacit fields on a daily with the daily rewards. And by the time that those characters reach the point where I want to do echoes on them, they're going to have so much saved up that it's going to take me forever to burn through it. So if you're casual, just think ahead. Start farming your tacit fields now, get those rewards done, and then that way later on when you are doing it and you're starting to experience the content that these hardcore people are talking about, you're not feeling the same grind and stress as they are. It's very easily preventable, I feel like, and knowing ahead of time that there are people that are struggling because they're reaching that within like a day or two, then you can yourself kind of prevent it from happening. So other than that, like I said, I think the game itself, the bare bones, is fantastic. I feel like there's so much going on. The game is absolutely beautiful. Just look at it. I think there's so much that you can do, and there's so much that they're releasing in a very short amount of time. Like, we're already going to be experiencing a new area, new content, new bosses, like all kinds of stuff. We've gotten 2 events very quickly back to back. People were talking about the event rewards for the first one being bad. You spent 5 seconds doing it. The rewards are not going to be fantastic. Like, I get that it's people are saying like, oh, it's their first event, they needed to make it fantastic and all that stuff. It's like, no, there's so much else in the game that you can do that it didn't need to be fantastic. It needed to just be a little bit something extra for them to add in so that people had a little something to do if that's what they wanted, and just showcasing more things in the game. It did not have to be as good as people are trying to make it out to be. I believe that again is more of a greedy sort of outlook on it. And there's just a lot kind of going on right now that people are putting a negative light on things that are happening, and it's really not that big a deal. Like, stop turning, bear. But for as far as the state of the game, like I was saying, I think it's in a good spot. I think that there is a lot to do. I think that if you play this game casually, you will have so much to do for such a long time that it is unreal. And so play the game however you want to play it, and listen to whoever you want to listen to. I'm not telling you that you need to listen to me. I'm not saying that the other people are wrong. They're experiencing what they're experiencing because of what they're doing, the rush that they're putting on the game. And I think that personally, if you play it at a slower pace, you'll have a much better experience. But I know there's people that just want to get to the end stuff like as fast as possible. I've gotten my character, like I said, I'm what, 38 now and almost 39. I'm not pushing to 40. I do not care if I get to 40 within a certain amount of time. That is not something that has to happen. And it doesn't matter the rate at which you reach something. When you eventually get there, you're going to be getting the same rewards. Someone can get there a day before you, spend their wave plates, get there a day before you, and then that means their experience that their wave plates that they're putting into the game after that, are having the increased rewards or whatever. But if you get there the next day and just through normal wave plate means, and then you have the extra wave plates to then dump into it that the other person doesn't have, you make up for missing out on those rewards anyways. So it really does not matter. There is no rush that people need to be thinking about, like it has to happen within a certain time. Like there's no efficient, like the best time to spend your wave plates. Spend them whenever you want to spend them. Do whatever you want to do. Just have fun with the game. Like don't stress about it, thinking that you're going to get left behind if you don't do things a certain way. It is not that big a deal. You should not do that with any game. You literally should play every single game to have fun. And that is just, I guess, my hot take on it, I guess. So whether you believe or not, that's up to you. But I hope everyone continues to enjoy this game. And looking forward to the new characters and the new events and everything that's going to be going on. I think there's so much content that is currently available, will be available, and it's not worth stressing about. Just have fun with the game. God, camera, work for me, please. So that's really it for me. Like I said, I wanted to make a video on my experience, the things that I'm thinking. Maybe there's a couple tips in there to which echo sets to farm or which things to do with your wave plates, whatever. If you want to look into those, then you can. If not, then that's perfectly fine too. Like I said, just a discussion right now. I'll be releasing further videos on characters, character guides, events, event guides, like all that stuff. There's going to be so much Wuthering Waves content coming that if you're looking for that from a casual free-to-play standpoint, then please give me a follow, and I hope that I can produce that content for you. But other than that, I hope everyone has a good day. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure you like it, and I will catch you on the next one.